All right, so when we are on lesson 12, all of these puzzles start talking about something called nested loops. You've already experienced loops in previous lessons where if you have a command that you find that you're repeating multiple times, a loop makes sense. But here we're talking about nested loops, and a lot of times that has to do with the pattern. So for example, I have my zombie up here in the top right corner, and I know if I do this little simple loop that says move forward 3 times, turn left, if I hit run here, he goes all the way up to the front and he gets close. All right, and I know I can loop it again, add the rest of this code that I've kind of already pre-set up over here. I'm going to hit reset, snap it on here, and that will give me essentially the first half of this puzzle. So I've got the top half, second half, and then the very final thing here is to get him kind of back into that same starting position that he was up here at the very top. Now I know this works perfectly. If I do all of this again, it will end up being exactly right for 2 steps worth. So all I do is grab a loop here, put it inside of a loop. So these are called nested loops. It's really just loops inside of loops. So now I'm going to do this 2 times because that first time is this first step. The second time is going to be the second step. I hit run, and that's how it succeeds. Now that's puzzle number 8. When you get up to puzzle number 10, there's a little bit of a trick to that. So I'm going to go ahead and continue, and I'm going to jump to puzzle 10 here. Puzzle 10, along with puzzle 9, but puzzle 10 has you figure out one particular spot. And this is a challenge lesson, but you're going to go in here and figure out how can you get exactly 1 row perfectly, reset your position so that you're ready to start the next row. So obviously, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, all right, you know what? I need to move forward. And I want to go ahead and get nectar 12 times, obviously, at each of these flowers, right? Now, what's weird about this is it looks like I am leaving behind this first nectar on the very first one that I'm at, but it works better if you do that because, remember, you're going to be all the way around and you're going to be back. So I know if I move forward and get nectar 12 times, that's going to work all right, but I'm going to do that actually 3 times. So 1, 2, 3 for all 3 of these flowers on this row. So if I hit 3 times, I hit run, I know it's going to do it there, it's going to do it here, and it's going to do it here. All right, and then the very last thing I need to do is turn right so that I am ready to do this whole next row. Now, once I have that all set up perfectly, I'm going to not only take this and nest it inside of a loop, but I'm going to nest it again inside of a double nested loop because I'm going to 4 times. So this loop here does 1 row perfectly. I'm going to take the whole thing and put it in here because there's 4 sides to this square. And now if I do that, it's going to be able to sit here. It's doing the inside of this. This loop is getting 12 different nectars. This loop is getting 3 different flowers. And then this outside loop is doing that whole thing 4 times because I have 4 sides to this entire square. All right. And that's kind of once you understand how that works and start really working from the inside out is the best way to do this. If you just start building this with the outside loop, it's not going to make any sense. My recommendation is get 1 flower to work perfectly and then do another one where you can loop that inside of the loop to do 1 row perfectly and then do the whole thing to be able to loop everything.